We already have a nice recommendation from Becca about last night's Wild Kitchen event.
Yeah, first of all, it was amazing to watch what they cooked, but then it was also just so inspiring to hear the amount of foraging they're doing. They were just constantly saying, Sarah would say, I was out walking the dog and I picked these 4 fruits that are just around, and then I made a syrup that's in this bottle that I'm going to show you. And then it was really just impressive and wonderful to learn that about Sarah's skills, but also really inspiring to just carry a bag around while walking the dog or yourself. It was really nice.
Yeah. Yes, Sarah is an amazing cook, and she has some serious skills. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get going just in the interest of keeping us on track for the day. And yeah, for today's kind of opening, really what I'm going to focus on and what we're going to focus on here is just getting ourselves acclimated to what we can expect over the course of this half day for day 2 of the gathering, and I will give a basically the Cliff Notes version of the presentation I gave yesterday about the new network structure, just for those who weren't here yesterday. And of course, then you can take time to watch the full version of that if you want additional details. And we will be putting out a lot of materials and communication around this as well. So this won't be the first or the only opportunity for you to kind of learn about the new network structure. And so welcome. I should also just introduce myself. So Jake Claro, Farm to Plate Director, and on the behalf of the Farm to Plate team and VSJF, which includes Sarah Danley, Becca Warren, Brett Halverson, Kelly Notterman, and Ellen Kaler. Welcome and thank you again for, if this is your second day, thank you for sticking with us for day 2. And if you're arriving for the first time, welcome and thank you for attending. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do today. So right now, the time is the time of that is wrong. What a way to start. So so actually the welcome back is from 9 to 9:15, not 9:15 to 10. I don't expect us to be in this room together for 45 minutes. So yeah, just a basic welcome back and kind of a recap from day 1. Then we're going to have a transition time to our breakout sessions from 9:15 to 9:30. So a little time just to also break a little bit. Why is this? Man, I must have been, the times on this are all wacky. Oh, so weird. All right, anyway, the slide is totally off. I don't know why. So
So is this today's agenda or
yesterday? Yeah, there's a missing block here. So so we've got transition to breakout sessions from 9:15 to 9:30, and then from 9:30 to 11, which is not in there, is the actual breakout sessions. So an hour and a half for the breakout sessions, and you can find the links to those in your agenda. There's a PDF copy that went out, and there's also the gathering landing page, which we can post into the chat, where you can find all the Zoom links. And then 11 to 11:15, there is a break. We'll come back as a full group at 11:15, which will do the local food count reveal. Very exciting. And then we'll have just a little, because the dairy plenary panel is running over the lunch period, that 11:45 to 12 p.m. period, take a break, get something prepared to eat, and then come back at 12, and then we'll have a closing 1 to 1:15. Some of that might actually be just additional time for Q&A for the plenary panel as well, depending on just where that conversation is going, and if we need a little more time And so yeah, note that we have a silent auction going on. There's the link to that in that housekeeping box, and that will be posted in the chat as well. All of the proceeds of the silent auction are going to Abenaki Helping Abenaki. And there's a link to the gathering message boards that you can go to. There's the link there. Just a note, always try to mute yourself during the presentations, and then particularly for our plenary panel at 12, try to limit the use of chat while people are speaking, and maybe keep things to the breaks in between speakers. And if you have questions that you just want to write down and get out, you can private message me those, and I can make sure then to queue those up when we go to the Q&A. So that's our arc for today, but that slide is maybe not totally representative of the actual day. So just a quick recap of what I presented yesterday, and just knowing again that some of you weren't there for the presentation. So why are we talking about network structure and kind of unveiling a new network, or the second iteration of the Farm to Plate network? So just a reminder that we had a plan in 2011 that came out. We had a plan that was released in 2011, and through that, the network was created to reflect the plan. It was kind of built around the plan. And so the diagram on the left is the framework that we used in the plan, and then the network diagram to the right that many of you may be familiar with. And so we have a new plan, and with that, we need to have a new structure. And that's not to say that we're throwing everything out. There's a lot of lessons that we've learned over time. We've learned what's been useful and helpful and effective. And also we've learned lessons around how we could structure the network differently that could be more effective. And also with the way the new plan was created, it has different elements. It has different new strategic priorities. So we need to align the network around those new priorities. And just acknowledging that things have changed over the last 10 years in the food system. And so we need to change and adapt with that. And so what we have are three kind of primary group types in the new network. So we've got priority strategy teams, communities of practice, and topic exchanges. And each of these has very distinct functions and ways of participating and being a part of them. So the priority strategy teams are really the heartbeat of the new network. They're focused on implementing specific priority strategies from the plan and or their constituent recommendations from the briefs. These can change over time, as work is completed and new work needs to start based on implementing based on implementation of the 34 priority strategies. And because these strategy teams are going to be much more, they're project oriented, they're about implementation. These are teams where it's a commitment that you make that's much more consistent in participation, meeting to meeting, and probably direct project work and implementation. And so for those who have been involved in the network, this is similar to what we call or have called task forces in the old network structure now. And so I'm not going to get into the 11 teams that we've identified. Just know that those teams correspond to a particular priority strategy. The ones that are in bold are teams that have either formed and are kind of already in an active state or are in the early stages of formation. And then the ones below that aren't bolded, there's still work that needs to be done in convening and catalyzing the formation of those groups. Communities of practice. So these are designed for members focused on a specific discipline or field of technical expertise and knowledge, bringing together a peer group of practitioners to improve technical skills and knowledge in their field. And the 4 groups that we've identified currently are groups that are transitioning from the old network structure to the new one. And these are groups that we have capacity to support right now. And we also acknowledge that there's many other communities of practice that exist in the food system. So this is not meant to be sort of representative of that entire universe of communities of practice. And then finally, topic exchanges. So these are really the place to create access to information, place to facilitate communication, awareness, understanding, enhance coordination across the state, build connectivity and relationships amongst members. These groups are open to all to attend. So you can go to any of these topic exchanges. And so we have identified 5 topic exchanges that are built around clusters of the priority strategies. So if you were to look at those priority strategies and kind of cluster them into higher level categories where they have certain types of interrelationships, that's what those 5 are built around or based upon. And then there's a full network exchange that will periodically host for anyone to attend, and that will bring together updates and discussions across the topic areas, and also will bring members of the priority strategy teams and communities of practice in as well to provide updates and keep people informed of what they're doing and provide a means for feedback to the work that they're engaged in. And so this is a schematic of that, a kind of functional schematic. So this is not our official new network diagram, but just a way to kind of think about how these groups will interact with one another. And as you can see, just kind of there's two-way flows between all of these groups. So priority strategy teams, communities of practice can feed into exchanges, and likewise exchanges can feed information out to those groups, and then they all can come together in the network-wide exchange. And next steps. So next steps for rolling all this out. As I mentioned, some project teams have formed, and we'll be helping to convene others over the course of the next 3 months. And likely the teams that we're going to be working to convene are policy, infrastructure, racial equity, and retail grocers. The communities of practice, because they already exist, are continuing to meet, and we can provide information and group contacts for those who are interested in learning more and possibly joining those groups. And then we're excited to announce that starting, actually I'll get to that in a second, but starting December, we will be putting out a call for topic exchange curators. So this is the one detail that I didn't mention in talking about the topic exchanges, is that the exchanges will be guided by these curators who will be responsible for bringing in topic experts, creating the agendas, and as sort of a team helping to facilitate those meetings. And so so we're moving away from kind of having a chair or co-chair model for the topic exchanges, and more looking for people to help curate content that will be shared out in those topic exchanges. And we will offer stipends for those who want to serve in that role. We'll have an open call starting out in December, looking for people who are interested in serving in that role, and we'll keep that open until around end of January, early February, then start to coordinate with those who have expressed interest to get these meetings up and running by early to mid-March. And then we are very pleased to announce we'll also host our first official network-wide exchange on Thursday, December 16th from 3 to 4:30. So save the date on that. We have Zoom info on the Gathering landing page, and we'll also be sending out more information about that through the listservs of the current listservs that we have in the network. And then just note too that we're revamping our steering committee. We'll move to a hybrid model where we'll have designated seats, network representatives, and what is kind of a new addition that we still need to operationalize is to have open seats that will be filled through an application process. So also keep your eye out for a call for applicants. And then all of you are going to receive a post-gathering survey with questions about your interests in participating in these various ways, whether that's being a part of a particular group, serving as a prospective curator, strategy team lead, or steering committee member. So more to come on that as well. And then lastly, just that the timing of this is conditioned also by wanting to sync up the group formation or the new group formation with the launch of our new website, which is in development right now. And that will provide the new communication and resource platform for these new groups. And then until we have the new website, we have to use the current the listservs and group pages from the current website, which is reflective of the old network structure. So just trying to get all of those things aligned is going to take a little more time. And so, I appreciate everyone's patience with that, but we want to create a solid foundation and then go slow to go fast, as we like to say. Okay, so that is the very quick Cliff Notes version of the presentation from yesterday that I just wanted to make sure that we covered again today for those who weren't able to see it. And I will stop my share now. And just if there's any questions, great. Happy to answer those. And then we can go to break and start transitioning to our breakout sessions. And if not, we can go to those start to break and go to those breakout sessions right now. So curious if anyone has any questions about that, or even just reflections from yesterday that you'd like to share with the group, as you kind of had some time to digest everything from yesterday. We had a number of good sessions and a really wonderful panel as well. So questions on structure or reflections from yesterday? How do we access the recordings of yesterday's presentation? So Tracy, those they're going through a light editing process just to remove some of the dead hair, and then they will get posted and be available probably by next week. Yeah. Kelly's really the one who's going to have to be doing that. So no pressure, Kelly. So Eric DeLuca, quick reflection.
I can't see if I'm working because of the screen a bit. Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Great. So good morning, everybody. If you think about the model for change in 1.0 farm to plate, thinking about the scale and the markets and the stage of development of whatever thing you're trying to support the development of was kind of a key insight. And so I'm just thinking about scale in one particular way, thinking across yesterday. So if you think about in-state, multi-state region like New England Northeast, and then national federal, what I'm seeing is sort of super strong state level engagement, and a lot of people know a lot about what's going on in Vermont. And then I felt like I attended the Vermont Way Foods session and felt like there was some really strong and sophisticated understanding of regional markets and opportunities and how to balance them with in-state opportunities and priorities. And then I feel like we've got a little bit of a gap on the federal side. And, there's a vote that's going to take place today, I think, in the House on like $1.7 trillion or something like that. There's just more money moving through the federal government now. Pick your point in the past, the Great Society, New Deal, like it's short list amounts of money that are moving through right now. And they all need to be sort of homed, like a place to use them and then a way to use them. And there's a lot of people betting against them being able to be used, and then it'll be all seen as a failure if the money can't be spent well. So I just think that it's a good time for this network to really pay close attention to the intersection between all that is moving on the federal side, whether it's climate smart ag, just one example that's top of the list. And so that's kind of where I'm seeing, like, if I'm thinking to myself, and I guess I would encourage everybody to think about this, like, where is the white space? Where is the opportunity in the next 10 years for you, like what you're good at, what you pay attention to, what you think is important, what syncs up with the plan, as you're making decisions about topic exchanges or the strategy teams or whatever. And so what I'm seeing across all the different things that I do is the intersection of policy opportunities across scale. And so anyway, that's just my answer to the question coming through yesterday, and yours is going to be individual to you. So I just want to encourage everybody to think along those lines, because now is really the time where we're going to structure ourselves in terms of voting with our feet. And so just wanted to put that out there from my experience yesterday.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. That's yeah, a lot to think about there, but I really appreciate that. Okay, so I don't want to hold things up any longer, but I do want to do one last thing here before we go, and it's something a little bittersweet, but some of you may know, as she may have told you, our wonderful network manager, Sarah Danley, and Sarah, I'm sorry to do this to you. So this is her last gathering with us as a staff member of the Farm to Plate team. She is moving on to work kind of more directly and deeply in her community, doing collective impact work, which is really awesome. And so I just want to express deep gratitude and appreciation for everything that Sarah has brought to the Farm to Plate team, she has brought to the Farm to Plate network. She has created a number of really valuable, not only projects, but just relationships that I'm just always amazed by the way that she works in the network and the things that she has done for the network, and so many things that she does that people don't get to see as well. I mean, she holds a lot of things together internally for us with our projects. And so Sarah, thank you. And we're really excited about kind of the next phase of what you're going to be doing in your career and your life. And just thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks, Jake, and thanks everyone. I will really miss. I will miss working in this role, but I won't say I'll miss working with you all, because I will be a member of the network in the future. So you'll see me around.
Yes, and that is why I made sure to say this is the last time as a staff member, but she will be back expressing very strong opinions and perspectives as a member of the network, which we're excited for. All right, so yeah, that's always a hard thing to do, but again, we're really excited for Sarah. So with that, I know we kind of went a little longer here, but I think it was important just to recap things and have some time for reflections. So breakout sessions from 9:30 to 11, and then please try to make sure you get back together as a full group at 11:15, where we'll do the local food count reveal. So stay tuned for that, and have just wonderful breakout sessions this morning. And yeah, and thanks again for attending day 2 of the gathering. All right, onward. Oh yeah, we've got some trivia up here as well to engage you in your transition period.